Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Art with Toys back. I'm gonna do a quick kind of unboxing slash review of the new Mezco 112 scale Tiger Stripe Wolverine. All right, so getting the lid off the box, this is the first tray that's in there. You have two unmasked heads. You have one with the more close-cut Wolverine haircut, and then you have one with the classic style with the sides that are sticking up. You have the classic head, so first appearance Wolverine head, damaged Wolverine head. You have three masked heads here, one with just the plain face, one with the teeth gritting, one screaming. You have the cape that is down, so when you have one of the unmasked heads on, you can put that on. And then he comes with another one of the first appearance heads. So this first appearance head's more of a stoic look. This is more of the teeth gritting. And then just inside here in the second row, you have all the hands. Over here, you have the eyeball for the Sentinel base. So that's pretty cool. You have the belt. This belt piece is interchangeable with the buckle on the red belt here. So that's pretty cool. So you have the X logo, and then you have the regular belt. And again, the belt face pops off, and you can pop that on. You have the slashing effects here. And there's four different ones here. And then in the next tray, you'll see there's the X slash version. And then obviously you have the figure. Here's what the second layer or second tray in the steel box looks like. You have the Mezco stand there, Mezco flight stand. You have the X swiping effect. You have your Sentinel base with this red button here that makes it light up, and then they give you batteries for it as well. And then obviously you get the 112 collective little baggie there. So if you want to put your accessories in there versus keeping them in a steel case, you have that option. All right, so this is Wolverine as he comes out of the package. He comes in the first appearance style cowl there with the smaller ears and kind of the whisker design going down the sides of the mouth. He also comes with the fisted hands on and the black belt there that has the X logo on it. And then as I mentioned, when I went through the box contents, there is a red belt that also comes with this guy. And they're easy to swap out. There's a peg on both sides of each of the belt here on the right hand side of the figure that you just unpeg and you peg the other one in. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch the heads out, switch out the belt, and then we'll take a look, closer look. All right, so before I jump into a closer look, I wanted to go over real quick. So like I said earlier, there is a peg on this side of the belt, and it's easy to unpeg the belt and get the other one on. But also what's pretty cool is you can pop this off, and then on the back of the belt buckle, there's a bigger peg, and then there's a smaller peg. And you just want to line that up with the bigger peg on the right hand side and the smaller peg on the left, and you could just peg in the new belt buckle there, which is pretty cool. So this is kind of more of the traditional look that I go for with Wolverine. This is kind of the look that I grew up with. Just taking a closer look at the figure himself. So you do have like a different cowl there. As I mentioned before, they did change that piece. You don't have all the seams going down the body, so that it's just a cleaner look with the fabric there. You do have the shoulder pads that do have a little bit of sculpting, and then they have the silver bits painted in for the rivets. And then if you notice too, you have some pouches there on the belts, and then kind of the pleathery leather type look for the trunks, more of the cloth here at the bottom. And then again, no extra seams or anything. They didn't take a ton of extra liberties with this guy. They did take some, but not a ton. And then as you guys can see with the boots, they went with the more traditional style boots. There is some seam work sculpted in there. It's subtle. And I think that's fine, you know, because again, it's subtle, it's not painted. So they do still look classic. But at the same time, they have some detail to them. So I think that's pretty cool. So not a ton there. I do want to show the fist. So he does have the gauntlets. On the gauntlets, there's a guard here, and then there's some rivets as well. And then, you know, in the gloves, there's some rivets, and then there's the metal pieces for where the claws come out. So very cool. He looks really good. I definitely think people are going to be really happy with this look for Wolverine when they get him in hand. So with that, let's shift over to the accessories, and let's try to put some of those on this guy and see what he looks like. All right, so accessories, starting with hands, you have the fisted hands that I showed before that come on the figure. Then you have the fisted hands that have the claws out, and those look pretty good. They look like they scale well with the figure. They're not stylized, anything of that nature. So I'm definitely pretty happy with these and the way they look. Next set of hands are these kind of like open hands with the fingers kind of in like a clawing pose, but you have that, and then you have also these claws out on these hands as well. Then you have the fisted hands with the bone claws, so these are pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be using them that often, but I do like that they were added in with this set. All right, and then you have another set of hands where the adamantium claws are not ejected, and he just has kind of the open hands with the fingers in a claw-like pose. All right, and then rounding out the hands, you have one hand that has a kind of a pointer pose going on it. Not like a trigger finger pose, but it's weird. The finger is definitely pointing, but it's not like straight. Has like a slight curve to it. And then you have kind of another open hand with kind of the gripping looking motion, less exaggerated. I think this one definitely could be used for you know, holding something. So we'll look a little bit deeper into that, but that is the hands there for you. All right, and then like I said before, this is the head that comes out of the package. So this looks pretty cool, more of the stoic look, first appearance. Again, smaller ears. You can see the lines for the kind of the, I guess, whisker look for Wolverine. Here's another style of the first appearance head, which again, I think looks pretty good. Again, they did such a better job this time around with the teeth. So this looks pretty good if you want to do some first appearance Wolverine versus Incredible Hulk shots. You have this option available, so that's pretty cool. So again, here is the more stoic looking, I guess, classic Jim Lee style head with the cowl that has the bigger ears going out on the side. I definitely think they did a great job. What I really think they did well was the size of these ears, as well as the angle that they're going at is perfect. I think they really nailed this look for him, as you can see there. I've seen a lot of these figures where, you know, the ears are either too short, the angle's wrong, and they're sticking like straight out almost, and I've seen people have to heat them and bend them back. I've seen some where they're too far back, they're like too far pinned to his head, and they just don't look that great as well. But I think Mezco nailed it here. And the other thing too I want to point out is I don't think they're doing like the skin on the faces the way they used to. If you guys remember, they had kind of that dull, waxy look. I do think that they've gotten a lot better at making this style of the skin on the faces look much better, more realistic and less waxy. Here is the head with the cowl with the bigger ears, and he's got the screaming face going. So again, they nailed the skin, nailed the teeth. Yeah, I think this looks great. So really good job. And then the other thing too, I want to point out, if I could just get it in closer here, and let's see if I can get it to zoom, but I don't know if you could see it, but there's all these wrinkles around the eye. So actually, you probably could see a little better there with the lights coming in from the sides, but they killed that. You know, that's obviously how like your face would look if you were screaming and, you know, the eyes were kind of clenched up in an angry look. Like the sculpting work on that part around the eyes is like, they killed it. So they did a really nice job with that. So I'm pretty happy with this head. This is going to be a good one for photography. The angry face that I was showing off earlier. So just another head. And then there's 2 more heads coming up, which are the unmasked ones. So let's get into those. All right, so here's the more traditional style unmasked head with the hair with the points on the side. The sideburns, they all look good. There's some decent shading in there. It's kind of a brownish black. Again, they did a nice job with the skin tone. You got a little bit of teeth showing through the lips. A little bit of darkness around the eyes or shading around the eyes. They killed it, nailed it on the eyebrows and things of that nature. And then also just want to show off too that they give you the cowl down accessory. And the way this is made, there's actually like almost like a divot, and it's sculpted perfectly to kind of fit around his neck and sit flush against the bottom of the neck and against the back. So if you remember, like with the Marvel Legends one, it would tend to pop up or it just wouldn't sit perfectly flush around the neck. This one does, and it looks great. Here is the second unmasked head in the set, and this is Wolverine after he gets a trim and combs his hair, and he's ready to battle with bad guys, but also impress his sweetheart in the process. Again, I have the cowl down look gone, so the accessory is on. Again, it sits flush, looks great. So I think they nailed it. And then there's one more head in the set. All right, so this is the last head in the set, and this is actually pretty cool. You could see the tears and the wrinkles at the top. You could see a piece of the cowl around the face ripped off. He's got like that almost like, you know, you did what you could, but you couldn't take me down look, you know, almost sinister. You know, on the cowl, one of the ears has a little bit of damage. The other one is just like half of it's completely ripped off. So this looks cool. And then the other thing that I want to show too is like right here and here, as well as on parts across the face, he has some adamantium showing. There's some at the top too. So not only is there some showing at the top, but there's actually some hair coming out. It's zoomed in better there so you get a better look. But you have the hair coming out, you have the tears, you have the adamantium showing, you have the cowl with damage on the sides. Like look at, actually look at that profile look. That looks awesome. This side has a little less damage, so it's kind of cool because it kind of gives you that that look of, you know, what he kind of looked like before and after. And then, you know, I really like the rip here in around the mouth on the cowl. And again, you have adamantium showing there in the skin and just a sinister look. And again, nailed the sculpted wrinkles around the eyes. I do think the one thing that this head suffers from, while it's awesome, the damage on it is great, the problem it has, and it's the same problem that the Love Triangle 3-pack had, is that it's damaged, but the rest of his body isn't. So it'll kind of work, I guess, if you don't really show the whole figure. You know, you could probably get away with like just showing more of the face if you're doing photography, that is, and just want to show an after battle look for Wolverine. It'll kind of work from that perspective, but it looks really good. It just, it doesn't really match. The same thing happened with the Love Triangle 3-pack. They gave you that damaged head with the hair coming out of the top and things of that nature. But then the rest of the figure, he looked like he was about to go into battle. You know, he wasn't dirty. There wasn't tears in the suit. You know, some people bought seconds of that figure, or they had extras and they did damage to the figure and, you know, some paint work and sculpting, so that head would work out right. You know, that's fine for a Marvel Legend. I don't think people are going to do that with a $155 Mezco. So you know, you got to kind of pick your battles in a sense if you're doing photography with this guy. But I do think the head looks great. And I think they killed it on all of them. All of the first appearance head, the classic heads, the different, you know, the grins, the stoic looks, the gritting teeth, the unmasked heads look great. The skin looks great. The shading looks great. Again, around the eyes, let's see if I can zoom in there. They really killed it. Like, I mean, it looks it looks more lifelike. It just doesn't have that waxy look and it's all one shade. They did multiple shades. You know, the creases and the forehead stand out. Again, I talked a little bit about the hair. It's kind of a brownish black look. So yeah, they killed it on that. I truly like the way that they're kind of stepping up their game as far as the heads go. All right, and then for some more accessories, you get the swipe effects, which are cool. So this one, it took me a second to figure out how it goes on there, but this one has more of the claw trail to it. So it looks good in a lot of these different angles that you could put it at. So I think that is a really cool feature. And here's another claw swiping effect. This one I like. I mean, I like all of them. This one is kind of a pain to get to stand on. The indentions for where the claws are inserted are not super deep by any means. So you can't really turn his hand sideways. So like you can't have him swiping left to right or right to left or whatever because it'll fall off. So in this one, I have him kind of doing an uppercut and it's resting on there and it's staying on, but it looks good. It just, it definitely has a little bit of an issue just in regards to how deep the indentions for the claws were made because, again, it doesn't go far enough in there to where it sits on super securely. So it will fall off pretty easily when you try to use it. All right, here's another one of the claw swiping effects. This one, the indentions are a little deeper, so the claws will go in there further. However, the spacing between the effect and the claws are not exactly the same. So the issue you're going to run into is you have to kind of spread the claws out a little bit to get them to pop on. Once you get on, it's fine. Again, I don't necessarily know if turning the claw sideways or having him, again, swipe left to right, right to left, if it's going to stay on that great. It could probably get a little bit tedious or irritating at times. And then this one, it has less of a curve. So if you remember with the last one, it was a little longer and it kind of had a curve to it. This one, slightly shorter and more of a straight line to it. And then here's another one. This one, much longer. This one stays on way more securely, has the curve to it. Claws go in there much further. This one you could definitely, if you want to do some swiping left or right, or if you have it on the other hand, right to left or whatever, vice versa maybe, you do have that option. So that one looks cool. I like this one a lot. Again, stays on there securely. It's longer, very dynamic. You get that screaming face going in there. Let me fix this belt, it's all messed up. But you get that screaming face in there, get some bad guys around him with some blood effects. You definitely do some pretty cool things with this. All right, and then here's our last swipe effect, which is the swipe effect that is the X. So this comes with 12 holes, so 3, 3, 3, and 3. You just fit the claws into those holes, and you could have it, like if you want to flip it and have like a skinnier X, you could do that. I went for more of the wide look, more of like he's starting at the top, finishing at the bottom. You could even switch that if you want to make it look like he started at the bottom and swiped up. You could have his hands going upward, making that motion. I don't know if you can cross his arms and get him in there. You know what? Let me try it and I'll be right back. All right, so I tried to do some more poses with the X swipe effect. To be honest with you, it was kind of irritating me. You got to be pretty specific with it, and I just didn't want to take any more time doing it. I probably need to just sit and take some time with it. You know, it's just a little bit tedious, but I did want to talk about this accessory. So this is the Sentinel eyeball that I was talking about when I was going through the box contents earlier. So it actually has holes in it. So if you want to put it on Wolverine's claw, you have that option. But also what's cool is you can take the eyeball and you can insert it into the base that he comes with, like so. And here's the base, and this is one of the main draws for this set. This base, and it lights up, and I'll show you that in a second. I'll dim the lights here so you guys can see like the light up effect. But this is pretty cool. And then again, the eye just pops out, and you could, you know, if you want to sit it on his chest for your photography or something like that, you can do so. But you know, it's pretty cool. Just taking a closer look at this guy, you know, we'll start with the back of the head. It's kind of still in good condition, shoulders in good condition. Over here on the side, you have some exposed wires. You have some great wash in between to really bring out the detail. You have the hands that have like divots and scrapes in them, and some of the fingertips are missing, so that's pretty cool. Up here on the chest, you got, again, some exposed wiring and gears and things of that nature. You have some scrapes here from Wolverine's claws. There's some peg pieces here that give you the ability to kind of, they're points where you can mount Wolverine onto this base. Over here on the side, you get another swipe there from Wolverine's claws. Again, great wash in there, great damage effects. The silvers, the blues, the purples, the golds all look great. You know, on the head you have the dent. You have this big gash taken out. You have another Wolverine scrape. This looks pretty cool, like where he damaged this part, and there's like some wires sticking out through there. Yeah, there's another scrape going across the face. So this looks super cool. I think they did a really nice job with this. Again, one of the main draws to this, and I'm gonna actually do a comparison or lay the old ToyBiz damaged Sentinel pieces down next to this here shortly, just to give you guys a look at that. So if you do have those pieces still, maybe you could do like a field of damaged Sentinels with your X-Men around it, which would be pretty cool. And then let me dim the lights really quickly. We'll turn that bad boy off. We'll turn this bad boy off. And there's a switch right here. So as you can see on the bottom, you're just gonna put your batteries in there. You need a little screwdriver. It comes with the batteries. What I like too is the batteries aren't in on like that really tight shrink wrapped plastic. You can just take them right out of the package and pop them right in. Flip this to on. And then here on the front, you have a button, and you're just gonna hit that button. And as you can see, his eye lights up and his chest. Let me turn off another light here. So check out the chest there. That looks really, really good. Oh, I'm making that one brighter. Here you go. Now we're really dark. So yeah, this looks awesome. And you can see too, there's a flickering effect that's going on in the chest there. You see that? So just such a nice touch. Again, this looks good. It's sculpted great. The damage, the paint, but I mean, and that red eye is popping. So the chest, it shows pretty good. And again, the flickering effect is a nice touch. But man, that eye is, you know, you lay this guy down, you get Wolverine up here, you're gonna take some pretty cool photography with the right lighting. So this looks pretty good. I like this a lot. All right, so like I said before, if you have the ToyBiz Sentinel bases that came with some of the figures back in the day, you could scatter them around. The way I laid them out, I did it to where it covers the ground. So basically it just looks like Wolverine is standing victorious over some Sentinels that he took out. You know, if you want to fill these spaces in with a couple of other X-Men, you can. Like, you know, you have the, you know, a couple of other Mezco X-Men that would work with this guy, like Cyclops or even Cable. Now, I do think that this is as great as a base that this is. I do think the one flaw is it feels slightly small compared to this scale of figure. I feel like he should be a little bigger. This is the ToyBiz parts are probably a little more accurate. But if you wanted to play this off like it was two styles of Sentinel, like a larger red one, and then one of the more traditional ones were attacking them and they defeated them, you could. Again, I covered the ground here. So what that does is it allows you to kind of build your set, you know, on these different pieces. Like you have, you know, somebody on the hand, you got somebody sitting on the head back there, somebody with their leg up on the foot or something. You change the background, you do like a skylight or skyline, you do a night sky, you could do the woods or a field or something like that, to where it seems like the X-Men got in a fight with the Sentinels outdoors in a wide open area. But I think this looks great, man. Like, it really works with the old ToyBiz parts, and I got them lit up there, so that looks good. Again, you can pull the eye out and lay it around. It definitely works. These old pieces are great. The sculpt work and the paint on them is excellent. Even like the copper pieces that are sticking out are just painted out superbly. So yeah, looks great. All right, so like I said earlier when I was going through the second accessories tray that had the X swipe on it and the base, you do get the base. Here it is. It's the black X logo, yellow, and then there's that subtle dark blue around the edges. I've already popped the peg out. As you know, there's a peg that goes in there. So if you wanted to place Wolverine on this and peg his foot in there, you can, and he'll stand securely. You also know if you pop that peg out, and if you've had Mezco before, this is nothing new to you, but you can obviously peg in your flight stand. So if you want to have Wolverine jumping at somebody, you can do that. But the last cool thing that I want to show you is when you pop that peg out, there's actually a bunch of holes here on the Sentinel. Like, I believe there's 4 here. There's 3 or so on the right side. So there's a bunch. But you can actually just peg this in. And once you have it pushed in securely, you could take your Wolverine and you can actually just peg him into that. And you get all the different points here for different options of mounting him. So I think that's pretty cool. It fits in there pretty tightly, so you gotta just give it a little wiggle to get it out. And yeah, it just helps, you know, with all the uneven surfaces of this base. It just helps to keep him in there securely, so that if you're taking photos and stuff, he doesn't fall over super easy. So I think that's pretty cool. Wanted to show that off. Yeah, and that's it. Let's wrap this video up and hear my final thoughts. All right, so just to go through articulation really quick. One thing I want to point out first is that the shoulder pads, if you're too rough with the arms, they will pop off. They do pop back on, so it's not like you break the figure, but it can be kind of tedious and annoying, and putting them back on is not super simple. It's not hard, but it's not super simple either. So your head's gonna look up that far. So you have the ball peg here at the top, like with the dumbbell joint, it goes on easily, and then you do have like the lower neck hinge as well. So you have movement, 2 parts here and here. So that is cool. He's gonna look down that far. And then out to the side, you can get up to about there. I don't want to force it any further because, again, that shoulder pad's gonna pop off, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. You got you got bicep swivel here. You got double jointed elbows that go that far. See if I can get this. This will actually go all the way around too, by the way, but again, you do risk popping off the shoulder pad, so just FYI there. You have the ball hinge here that gives you the regular movement at the wrist, but you can also swivel it, and then you can get the side-to-side movement as well. You don't have a break here at the glove, so again, you just have the bicep there to kind of spin the arm. At the torso, you can get him to crunch about that far. So that's cool. You do have the legs that kick up that far. They go back about to there. They go out to the side to there. That's not bad at all. He does have the upper bicep swivel. He's got knees that bend to there. And then does not appear to be a boot swivel unless mine's stuck. There's nothing there. You do have some movement here at the foot, side to side. You do have up, which will go to about there. You do have back that goes there. You do have your ankle rocker. It's not the most dynamic ankle rocker, but it is there. So you do have the options there. Pretty, I don't want to say like super good. It's not Mafex style articulation. It's going to get the job done. But for the most part, it's semi-basic. Oh, and he does have a butterfly joint. Did want to mention that. So you have your butterfly joint that goes back to about there and forward to about there. So, and waist swivel is there, but I think most of your waist swivel is going to come from the upper part of the torso. So yeah, that's your articulation. So again, not Mafex style articulation, semi-basic, but still good enough to get the things done with this Wolverine that you probably want to do when it comes to posing. All right, before I get to my final thoughts, I did want to show a quick comparison. So this is the Mezco Tiger Stripe Wolverine with the Mafex Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and then the Marvel Legends Love Triangle 3-pack Tiger Stripe Wolverine. I picked these three because they have the three closest colors, especially with the yellows. It kind of all depends on what you want to spend. This guy now, because of the base, and all the accessories, you're looking at $155 retail. This guy originally, I think he's around 100. If he was less than 100, he'd probably go to about 100 when you factored in the shipping. This guy was part of a 3-pack. You probably can get him alone in the by itself for, I don't know, 25 to 35 bucks on eBay, I guess. Not really sure how much the Love Triangle 3-pack goes for now, but did want to show these guys. Obviously, you have the other Marvel Legends Tiger Stripe Wolverine that has kind of that orangish yellow. So there's another option there depending on just kind of the colors you want to roll with on your X-Men crew. So yeah, I think these all look great. I like all of them. I think they all serve different purposes. They're both all fun figures. Marvel Legends killed it with theirs. Mafex always kills it. There's like a couple flaws here and there with the Mafex, but nothing too crazy that stands out. And then obviously Mezco came through and killed it with this guy. So yeah, I mean, if you don't need all three, pick one that fits your collection and your budget and roll with it. All right, so to wrap up here before my lights all burn out, I like this thing. It is great. I dig the fact that they toned down some of the liberties that they took originally with the first version of him. But I do like that the fact that they did leave some of the details in the boots and the gloves and then the shoulder pads, but they're subtle, they're unpainted, they're there. There's the subtle riveting. So I think that adds a little something to the figure, but I just like that the yellow is it's basic. There's no seams. You just have the yellow and the tiger stripe. The trunks look good. Again, the belt options look great. This is how I'll display mine with the classic cow and the red belt. I might switch out the expressions on the heads, but yeah, I definitely, if you can get your hands on this figure and you're cool spending the $155, I think you're going to really enjoy this guy. If you're a Mezco fanatic, it's a must-have. If you're an X-Men fanatic and a Mezco fanatic, definitely a must-have. But he's a lot of fun, and definitely think that he is a great figure to add to your collection. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I appreciate you guys watching the review. Please like, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications if you can. Leave me a comment, and you know, definitely I'll be trying to get around to responding to everybody. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.